Howdy YouTube. Today is January 7th, 2018, and today I am now a quarter of a century old. Yup, I am now 25 years old this year, today. So, we got some interesting things to talk about today. Okay, let's first go to the earthquakes that have been going on. We had a 3.6 in Montana, just north of Yellowstone. Just north, actually, that's about northwest, I believe. 10.9 kilometers in depth. A few people felt it, and then we got this little bugger right here. But the thing that's very interesting is this right here. A 4.5 off the coast of California and Oregon. 0.1 kilometers in depth. What? 0.1? That is weird. Especially for an earthquake that's right off the coast here. That is very odd. And we got some swarms here in that pumping operation, which actually they admitted this pumping operation right here in the geysers area. Yep, or Cobb. Oh, it used to say the geysers, California. But this is right next to a magma chamber. And they actually admit that they actually drill and pump water like into the magma chamber or something like that. I don't know. It was very weird. But they are pumping right on top of a big magma chamber. Probably about the size of Long Valley's magma chamber. But this right here, the 0.1 kilometers in depth, look at this. It is almost right near this intersection right here. But 0.1 kilometers in depth. You know what we should do? Let's go to Google Earth. Come on, buddy. Yeah, I got way too many files on my desktop. Look at all this. Pretty much all of these are all Old Faithful footage. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back. Let us copy the location so we can see exactly what's down there. Because that's very shallow for that big of an earthquake. Very shallow. And personally, you know what's probably happened before, obviously. But personally, I have never seen an earthquake that shallow happen off the coast. I've seen shallow earthquakes on land, but off the coast? So it's right there. Okay, let's see. Let's zoom out. That is right on the fault line right there. Look at that. That's right on it. I'm guessing maybe a cracked open or something because that is so shallow. Alright, we got something else besides that. Okay, so you guys know how I check this a lot. The earth.nilschool.net. I suggest you guys check it a lot too. It can do so many things, but what I use is, okay, let's press that so we don't need the wind flow right now. Let's change that to UTC, go to chem, and go to sulfur dioxide at surface. Come on, sulfur dioxide, there we go. Okay, do you see this right here? Let's move that real quick. Oh, looks like Yellowstone's having a little bit of sulfur emissions too. Okay, so let's go back one day. And another day. Okay, see this area right here, how it's clear? Let's go forward. And boom, it appears. And now watch while I go through time. If it will go. Come on, buddy. Really? Apparently it's stuck. There we go. Okay. You see this stationary point right here? Let's go again. And go again. Go forward again. Go forward again. Go forward again. Go forward again. So right here, there is sulfur dioxide being emitted from the surface. Now, I thought that was very interesting because the content is quite high. 84.58. That is pretty high. Let's keep going forward. And the thing I thought that was interesting, let's see, this is carbon dioxide content. No data. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why it says no data. Let's go to carbon monoxide. Okay, it's giving off carbon monoxide as well, which I thought is very weird because I have never seen a carbon monoxide emission coupled with a sulfur dioxide emission. I always thought that was very weird. So what I did, and this is still going on. Let's go to now. Yeah, see, it's still going on. The wind is heading north, so it's pushing it this way. It looks like it's starting to diminish a little bit. But yesterday, let's go to yesterday. Okay, there we go. Right there. Okay. Now, this is very strange. Let's copy that. And put it into here. And paste. Alright, let's see where it leads us. And it's just north of Medford. Okay, so I need you guys to really listen right here. Listen to this. You see how this says Canyonville right here? Do you see that? Alright, and see how there's Merlin, Grants Pass. Let's zoom out a little more. There's Medford. Okay, so it's up here. See, there's I-5? It's up here in Canyonville, right next to Canyonville. So in this area right here, because the big blob is pretty big. Let's see, that's a pretty good size. So I'm going to say it's this area right here. See that? Those are the same coordinates right there. So if that's the center of it, and it's that big, we're going to have to say that it's about this area right here. Now, this is what's interesting. Now, I thank you to Dutchins for using the real-time tremor map. I didn't even know there was such a thing for the Pacific Northwest. It's very cool. I will leave a link to it in the description box below, and I will also add it to the resources. Whenever I get a new source of data, you know, maybe like a new seismogram website or, you know, a tremor map or whatever, I will always put it under resources in the description box so that other people can do the same research that I'm doing. Real-time tremor map. Okay. Alright, guys. Now let's go to the past 48 hours. The past 2 days. Now, you will notice something. Alright. It has settled down. Because yesterday, this was a little bit bigger of a blob. But, I want you to notice something. It's still there. It's still showing those tremors. Now, guys, I don't know what type of tremors. I don't know if they're low frequency or long period. They just say tremor. And I don't think it says how long it lasts either. Okay. It won't let me zoom in anymore. But, do you see right here how it says Canyonville? Do you see that right there? And see, this is I-5 snaking right through here. There's that dip, and then there's Canyonville. So we have these tremors occurring right here. These are not earthquakes, these are tremors. Remember, tremors can be different than earthquakes. So, remember, Canyonville. Canyonville is where the center of it, and also to the left is where the tremors have been occurring. Let's go back. Oh, looky, looky! Canyonville! So, if we go here, see how that says Canyonville? And go back here, whoopsie, and go back here, this is the same area. So, those tremors on the real-time tremor map are occurring in this area, right here. Now, coincidentally, that is the same area that is currently experiencing sulfur dioxide emissions. That is weird. That is very, very, very weird. Now, what is here? A quarry. I believe there's a quarry and a mine right here. Look at this. There's two of them. You see, I believe this is a quarry, I think. Or is this a mine? I don't know if that's a quarry or a mine. Could be both, maybe? Alright, and then let's zoom out. Let's zoom out, and then go up here with the bigger one. Now, this looks like a quarry to me. You see that? But I bet there is a mine somewhere around here that goes deep within the earth. Now, remember, let's go back up. Let's go up to Canada. Do you remember these? These stationary points that I made a video about a long time ago. They're still there. They've been doing it ever since around the time Yellowstone's swarm began in June 2017. No joke, that's around the time it started. Maybe about a month before that or so. There are multiple mines in this area, but not every single one should be giving off sulfur dioxide at the same time. But they have been doing so for months and months and months and months now. You know, I was thinking, you know, maybe it's just normal mining activity. Man, we have, whoa. 791 content up there. I don't know what that is. We'll check that out later. But, so there are mines right here that could be releasing sulfur dioxide, but it's not normal mining activity for every single one to be showing sulfur dioxide emissions for months and months and months and months and months and months, just over and over and over again, never stops. So this is also a mine down here. Now guys, get this. Picture in your head magma rising, because magma releases sulfur dioxide, but I actually don't think it releases carbon monoxide. So I don't know what the carbon monoxide readings are from. It's from the same area. You see that? It seems like maybe there's a wildfire going on. That doesn't make any sense, though, because there's no fires going on in this area. And also, we have the tremors right here in this same exact area. Look at that. That's that same area right there near Canyonville, right at Canyonville. So we go to sulfur dioxide. Imagine magma rising. It pushes the gases upward. And as magma rises, it's going to find the path of least resistance, right? So get this. If there are holes in the Earth's surface deep enough, don't you think the path of least resistance would first be through a mine? That might be possible, huh? Because I don't understand why sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide is being released in the same exact area of these real-time tremors. On the real-time tremor map, I mean. I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. And I really hope Dutchin sees these gas emissions, because they're very concerning for that to be coupled with tremors. Very concerning. Very strange, too. Very strange. Okay, who knows what that's from? And let's see, let's take a mosey on around the world. Man, the eastern half of the United States is always seeing massive sulfur dioxide. I don't know why. Let's zoom out as much as we can. Where's the sulfur dioxide being emitted right now? Looky, looky, it's a volcano. You see that? That's Hawaii. That's Mauna Loa, I think, possibly. Or Kilauea, either one, I forget. There's China. Man, China is just... they're gonna suffocate in all that sulfur dioxide. Jeez. Okay. So mainly you see emissions like this at volcanoes. Usually. Here's a volcano up here as well with sulfur dioxide being emitted. Okay. There have been no earthquakes in the past day or so in this area. In the area next to Canyonville. Because remember, see how that says Canyonville? These tremors have been occurring in an oval shape right here. And then we go here, and it's occurring in the same exact spot that you can see on Google Earth. And here's the mine. Let's see if there's anything else near here. See, there's a city. I feel bad for those people. They must be feeling really sick right now. Tri-City. I don't see anything there, guys. Anything but 2 mines, which I believe could act as a as the path of least resistance, right? That could be possible. Okay, so let's see. Where is I gonna go? Oh yeah. So earthquake map. We're gonna go out and see if there's been any earthquakes in that area in the past week. So let's go over here. Go to 7 days, all magnitudes. And wait for a second for it to load. Nothing. Nothing. So we got some tremors, but no earthquakes. Which I think is very weird. And then we got this little guy right here. And my computer's about to freeze. Lovely. But with this little guy, you should see Dutchins's earthquake update. Let's see. I think the title was... I think it was for the 5th. January 5th, I believe. And it said at the end, possible volcanic explosion in Oregon. And he talks about this right here, which is next to a big lava field, actually. So it's very weird, and there's no quarries in that area for that explosion to be. So I don't know why I'd do that. But, so we have connected these to the sulfur dioxide emissions. Very weird, very weird. Alright, let's move on. If my computer will let me. My god, it is so slow recently. I wish I could get a new computer, but I'm so broke. Literally, all I got money is for my kids, and that's pretty much it. Let's see here. Where's I gonna go? I need the recent heliquarter displays. There we go. Oh, and by the way, guys, please, I am asking all of you. I'm going to turn this off because it is glitching. I got to turn off Google Earth. Okay. I need to ask you guys to do a big favor for me, please. UNAVCO is still not updating their tilt meters. Still. And, coincidentally, I'd like to show you something. Okay. Might take a minute to load. Okay, Madison River still has not even had anything for the past 30 days. They shut that down. Lake Yellowstone, as we know, LKWY Lake Yellowstone seismogram was taken offline in November 6th, 2017, I believe. And it still has not been put back up, and now they took down the tilt meter. It almost seems like they really are trying to censor something. They really are. Because if you notice, they shut down the meter right after one of the largest ground deformation events we have seen on these meters. Yes, personally, I have never seen ground deformation this large. Okay, so which day was that? Let's see, there's 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28th. Okay, so let's say that's December 27th and 28th. Gee, that sounds familiar. What happened on that day? Well, let's go see. Oh my god, it's those low-frequency harmonic tremors. Or maybe they're not harmonic tremors, but they're low-frequency tremors. Because if you go to a normal day, which I've shown this so many times, guys, you should know what a normal day looks like. Okay, just ignore all the electronic problems they're having. Look right here. That's somewhat a normal day. That's what it should look like. But we go on here. That's what it looks like, the low-frequency events, when they occur. And let's go to the long period graph, the LPZ, for the 27th in Missoula. Yeah, wow! Look at that. Yep, that was during this, right here. So we know that this is connected to ground deformation. Now, if tremors are connected to ground deformation, that is a very, very, very bad sign. And please, nobody say that's normal. That is not. Having long period tremors connected with ground deformation on the same days, that is bad. That is very, very bad. Very bad. Especially with all the microquake swarms we've been seeing lately. And there have been microquake swarms in Hebgen Lake and the Madison River area, and also near Lake Yellowstone, too. 2 areas. But they've only been reporting like a handful of the earthquakes. And some of the earthquakes they do report, they downgrade, which is getting very annoying. But you guys know what a normal day looks like if you guys follow me enough. You guys know. So here, January 7th, here's my birthday. They did something to this graph. Because, as you will see, let's go to Chrome Mountain, which is right next to Red Lodge. Chrome Mountain is very close. Great Cliff, Chrome Mountain, and Red Lodge are kind of in a triangle formation right next to each other. Chrome Mountain, there's some electronic problems they've been having up there, but if you look down here, those low-frequency events are still happening. The jagged up and down, up and down, up and down movement. And let's go to yesterday. And you could see, yes, they have been happening here as well. So they've been happening for a few days now, guys. But they haven't been very strong. They have not been that strong. But, let's see, what was I going to show you? Oh yeah, so let's go to the same day that I just showed for Chrome Mountain, for January 6th. Everything is getting screwed up. They need to really fix their monitor, because this is starting to get very annoying. See the jagged up and down movements right here, and right here also up here? But then look what the graph turned into. You can't see the jagged up and down movements anymore, even though you could see it on the neighboring graphs. So what happened here? What happened? And then you go to today, and see how it looks more bold than on this day? You see that? And then let's go back to there. I don't know why they did this. Maybe it's an accident. Maybe it's on purpose. I don't know. But it is making the low-frequency harmonic tremors almost impossible to see on Red Lodge, Montana. Oh, yeah. But for my viewers, please contact UNAVCO. Contact their borehole scientists. And you can go down here. Let's see. Where is it? Careers, no. Contact, right here. And you go to staff directory after you press on contact. So you press contact and then staff directory, and you could press this right here and look for borehole geophysics engineer or data engineer or data technician, and please email them and tell them to get their damn meters back online, because it is not a coincidence that they took them down just after one of the largest ground deformation events occurred on their meters. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but it seriously seems like someone's out to censor something, because there's been too many coincidences to count. Way too many coincidences. And there was something else I wanted to show you guys. Let's see. That's not it, but that was a very weird event that happened there. And this actually showed on a neighboring graph in the Utah seismic network. Man, I swear to God, I'm still getting over my cold. It's been a while. Right here. Okay, so this was on the 4th. And this event right here was sort of picked up on neighboring graphs, but it was felt the strongest at Great Cliff. Now you'll see what I'm concerned about. Look at this right here. '28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. It started about 8:23 UTC on January 4th. Do you see that? Do you see the same thing I'm seeing? That is a very strong long period harmonic tremor. That looks just like the ones that they recorded at Mount St. Helens. I mean, so close, so close. Let's zoom out to get a better view. Well, not a better view, but you kind of, see the jagged up and down movements right there? Up and down, up and down, up and down, and then it slowly emerges and slowly diminishes. Ain't that weird? I thought that was very weird. Okay, so let's go to, is this thing on .org? Mary Greeley already did an update about this, so you could check her video. She probably got a more in-depth look than I do on this, but I'm just going to show you guys, just for shits and giggles. We got some events right here. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys something. Okay, Old Faithful. They've been having these very, very weird, I don't know what they are. It's very weird because I've never seen a vibration just end abruptly and then like a couple minutes later just start abruptly and then diminish. Because you see that. It slowly emerges and then reaches its peak and then nothing. It doesn't even diminish. It just all of a sudden cuts off and then nothing for about 5-6 minutes, and then all of a sudden boom, and then it finishes. And if you see the previous days, let's go previous day. They've been having the same events here. So look, that looks exactly the same. Oh, wait. It is exactly the same. Never mind. Whoops. Let me go back one more day. Okay. And they keep messing with their monitors. Because see how thin the lines are right here? They should not be that thin. They were not that thin before this event occurred. Because if you look right here, the microquake swarm that occurred, yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot of them. And also here at Borehole 208 as well, at Lake Yellowstone. You can see a lot of them. Most of the large ones, I'm going to say maybe around 1.5 to 2.5, something like that. But I'm going to say maybe 50 microquakes or more. But here, let's see, we'll show it on this one. That is a hydrothermal tremor. I'm pretty sure that is a hydrothermal tremor right there. Right there. But looks like I can't find it. Let's go to the day that had a lot of hydrothermal activity. I mean, if you guys look at some of my past videos, notice the dates on some of the Old Faithful footage was about January 1st to January 3rd. So let's go to January 2nd. Yeah, these days had a lot more activity, a lot of hydrothermal tremors. What I think they are, I believe they are. But here's that same signal again. It slowly emerges and then stops right when it reaches its peak. And then nothing for a couple minutes, and then boom, it starts again. That is weird because what I've been taught, seismic signals cannot do that. Because when the ground vibrates, it vibrates and increases, and then it decreases and decreases. It doesn't just vibrate, reach its peak, and then just stop. And then vibrate really strong and then diminish. I think that is very, very weird. Alright, guys. Well, I got a lot more Old Faithful footage to go through for some new videos, but hydrothermal activity has been kind of calm ever since January 3rd. And if you notice, January 1st and January 2nd were the days that had the most hydrothermal tremors, or what I believe to be hydrothermal tremors. And also, this crack right here. Let me zoom in on this. See this crack right here? It is getting bigger. I'm not joking. I will try to find the footage of this crack smoking. It was in one of my videos. It was the second to last clip in my video that had to do about the ground and the river getting really hot after an Old Faithful eruption. This was smoking. But if you notice, I think that crack is getting bigger. I don't know about you, but that looks like it's getting... It could just be the snow melting. But the thing is literally the crack itself looks bigger, though. It does. I don't know if it really is, but I'll try to put the footage at the end of this video of this crack smoking. Because really, guys, we should not see cracks smoking throughout the park. Oh, and there was one more thing. Oh, yeah, guys, don't forget to email UNAVCO with a very stern email trying to get their monitors back online. Please, we need those tilt meters. We need them. We need the seismographs that can show low-frequency events and high-frequency events, and we need the tilt meters in order to judge what is going to happen at Yellowstone. Without the tilt meters, we can only rely on the seismographs, which I gotta say, seismographs are very reliable. People can sort of predict things with seismographs, but it is best to have as much sources of data as possible. Now here, I want to show you something real quick before I end this video. Supervolcanoes, triggered outside forces. Okay. Look at this, guys. So you know how volcanoes usually are triggered by pressure within the magma chamber? Well, there's a lot of pressure at Yellowstone, but that might not be the cause of an eruption when it does erupt. Supervolcanoes, massive eruptions with potential global consequences, appear not to follow the conventional volcano mechanics of internal pressure building until the volcano blows. Instead, a new study finds such magma chambers might erupt when the roof above them cracks or collapses. Cracks or collapses. Now, guys, what can cause cracks or collapses? Tectonic earthquakes. So you know how the University of Utah lied about how saying a lot of the swarms in the past, the swarms in the 80s and the 90s and the recent swarm in June 2017, it could be aftershocks from the 7.5 Hebgen Lake earthquake in 1959. Really? Okay, let's just say for a second that they're right, which they're not. That is a bunch of BS. I believe that they are definitely related to volcanic movement, those swarms. But let's just say they're right, just for the sake of the argument. Let's just say they're right. That should make people more worried. Because the more earthquakes you got, the more the ground is going to get stressed and crack and potentially collapse. But guess what also can crack the ground? A massive megaquake, which the Pacific coast could be seeing very soon, which this real-time tremor map has been showing a lot of movement. It's not showing any right now. It's showing some, with some large movement up here. But the other day it showed huge blobs right here. Huge blobs right here. Huge blobs right here, which we have connected this to the sulfur dioxide emissions. And I believe there was another blob down here in California somewhere, I believe. So it looks like a megaquake might be approaching. It could be possible. I think, personally, it's going to happen off the coast of southern Washington and northern Oregon, and I believe it will be around an 8.0 earthquake. That's what I believe. I'm probably going to be wrong, but that's just personally what I'm expecting. And I do expect the pressure to transfer all the way to Yellowstone and cause either a massive earthquake swarm, a brand new geyser, or a possible eruption. Not immediately. It would probably take a little while. It wouldn't happen right after the megaquake, but it definitely would cause the area to destabilize, especially after this new info. Knowledge of triggering mechanics is crucial for monitoring supervolcano systems, including ones that lie beneath Yellowstone and Long Valley, according to the study. University of Illinois professor of geology in collaboration with professor blah 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 blah. The study was published in the Journal of Volcanology and Geothermal Research. Greg also presented the findings this week at the annual meeting of the Geological Society of America. If we want to monitor supervolcanoes to determine if one is progressing toward an eruption, we need a better understanding of what triggers a supereruption. Greg said, "It is very likely that supereruptions must be triggered by an external mechanism, not an internal mechanism, which makes them very different from the typical smaller volcanoes that we monitor." And guys, that makes sense. Calderas are way larger than stratovolcanoes. I mean, by a large margin. They're huge. And if you think of it, the area, like Yellowstone, it's totally different than a stratovolcano. I mean, everything is totally different. It could even follow a totally different step. Because remember in a few videos ago, I showed you the steps a volcano takes before it erupts? Yellowstone may follow that. Yellowstone may not. No one knows. A supervolcano is classed as more than 500 cubic kilometers of erupted magma volume. For comparison, Mount St. Helens ejected about 1 cubic kilometer of material. Did you hear that, guys? You know how large and how destructive the Mount St. Helens eruption was. And it was only 1 cubic kilometer, but a supervolcano is a minimum of 500 cubic kilometers. Minimum, guys. Minimum. That's the minimum. And we know that Yellowstone is not a minimal supervolcano. It is very large. I mean, it could be, the eruption could be, I'm guessing, maybe 3,000-4,000 times larger than Mount St. Helens. A typical volcano, when it erupts, can have lasting impacts across the globe. We've seen that in Iceland, we've had large ash eruptions that have completely disrupted air traffic across Europe. A super eruption takes that to the nth degree. The findings are contrary to a pair of papers published in the journal Nature Geoscience in 2014 that claim a link between eruption likelihood and magma buoyancy. Now that is still a possibility, guys. Both could actually play a part. It is possible. The magma buoyancy hypothesis suggested that magma may be less dense than the rock surrounding it, and therefore could push up against the roof, like an ice cube bobbing in water, increasing the pressure within the chamber and triggering an eruption. Now that's what the University of Utah has been teaching us, guys. That's what USGS has been teaching us. That is why they tell us not to be worried. That is why, because this would cause uplift. Guys, okay, get this. This would cause uplift. This would. It would push against the roof, but before an eruption, it would cause uplift. Now get this. If this person is correct about the cracking and the collapsing, well, guess what, guys? No uplift will be required for an eruption. It could go at any time with no warning at all. Now that is something that I bet the University of Utah will tell you is not true. But trust me, it makes a lot more sense. Let's see. Numerical model incorporates all the physics, conserving mass, energy, and momentum to calculate what would happen if a large buoyant magma body were to form in the shallow crust. The model showed that even when the chamber was huge and the difference in density was very large between the magma and the surrounding rock, an unlikely scenario, buoyancy added very little pressure to the system. Which means the buoyancy did not add as much uplift as we thought. Because when the pressure increases and against the roof of the magma chamber, it causes uplift. The fact that my numerical model was not agreeing with their analytical solution suggested that there was something missing from the analytical solution, so that prompted me to look closer. What they miss in the buoyancy model is Newtonian physics. The magma may push up, but what does it say? The roof pushes back down. Now, guys, that is why if you go to volcanoes.usgs.gov, go up on the top of the page where it says select a volcano, go down all the way down to the bottom, click Yellowstone. Then, click Monitoring. Then, go down, and you'll see a list of things you can choose. It'll say seismic monitors, GPS uplift, tilt meters, and then down below that it'll say Hide All or Show All. Go ahead and click Hide All, and then go up and click GPS uplift, and that'll show you only the GPS uplift for the whole park. Now, if you look at most of the monitors in the park, you will see a jagged up and down, up and down. 1 year it'll be high, 1 year it'll be low. 1 year will be high, 1 year will be low. That is because of this right here. The magma may push up, but the roof pushes back down. That is exactly what's been happening at Yellowstone. The new study found that the size of the magma chamber is a much greater factor in generating supervolcanic eruptions. I will leave this to you guys. You should read the rest of that article. It's pretty cool. So we do got a lot of things going on recently. And let's go to right now. Yeah, we definitely got some magma intrusion possibly going on here. Because Grey Cliff has been shown a lot. But here, the 3.6 in Montana, it was not that far away to have that long of an extended coda. You see that? See how the coda is a little bit longer than it should be? It's possible that could be a tornillo. Or a tornillo, I mean. That is very possible. And we got another quake right here. But I don't know if that is for sure, but it seems like it. Well, guys, a lot of strange things have been occurring lately. I will probably upload some more Old Faithful footage soon, but the past couple days have been very quiet, somewhat, in terms of hydrothermal eruptions. And remember, there is something going on with magma in this area right here. There has to be. There has to be. Because seeing these tremors, coupled with the SO2 emissions, and especially the carbon monoxide emissions, which I thought was very weird, makes me a little concerned that something could be happening right here. It's possible. I hope not. Well, guys, if I missed anything, or if I'm wrong about something, or if you have constructive criticism, please just leave a comment in the description box below. I will leave a link to this right here and to this tool right here. And I will also put these two articles, this article and this link in the resources in the description box below. So in future videos, if you want to see the links and everything, you can just go under resources. I try to put all my stuff down there. Well, guys, I am officially 25 years old today. And I thank you much for everything you guys do and all your support and love. And happy 2018, guys. Let's hope this doesn't turn into a super volcano. God bless you guys. Follow Jesus.